If you're running a business, you know growth is the name of the game. But what if that growth is secretly costing you a fortune? Today, we're going to talk about a single metric that can make or break your company: customer acquisition cost, or, CAC. If you get this right, you really unlock the path to sustainable profit. So let's dive in.
I want to start with just one number: 222%. Just let that sink in for a second. It's a massive increase, right? But an increase in what?
Well, that number is the insane jump in how much it costs to win a new customer. According to NetCore Cloud, it's skyrocketed by 222% in just the last few years, and now the average cost is sitting at $29. And you have to ask, why? Well, think about it. Digital ad space is more crowded than ever. Privacy updates have made targeting way harder, and there's just so much more competition. This isn't just a small bump. It's a huge shift in how business works.
So this leads to a pretty serious question, one that every founder and marketer should be asking themselves. Are you spending your money wisely? Or is this rising tide of acquisition costs about to sink your profits?
So, what is actually going on here? To figure it out, we've got to look under the hood and see what really makes up this critical number.
At its core, customer acquisition cost is just the total price you pay to turn a prospect into a paying customer. It's basically a report card for your growth engine.
And please don't make the classic mistake of thinking this is just your ad budget. Oh no, CAC includes every single penny you spend to get that customer. We're talking salaries for your sales and marketing folks, the software they use, the content you create, even the cost of supporting free trials. It is the full all-in cost.
But here's the thing, just knowing your CAC is only half the story. By itself, that number doesn't really have any context. To make it truly powerful, we have to bring in its partner metric.
This right here is the key. You have to shift your thinking. Don't think of CAC as a cost. Think of it as an investment. And with any investment, what's the first question you ask? When do I get my money back? Well, that's your payback period.
So the CAC payback period is just the amount of time it takes for a customer to pay you enough to cover their own acquisition cost. And this is so critical because if a customer leaves, if they churn, before that period is over, you've officially lost money on them. Simple as that.
Okay, so now we know what the payback period is and why it's so incredibly important. Let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually calculate it? The good news is it's probably way simpler than you think.
It's really just a simple two-step process. First, you've got your CAC, the total cost to get a customer. Then you just divide that by your monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, which is just the predictable amount of money that customer pays you every month.
Let's look at a quick example. Let's say it costs you $200 to acquire a customer, and that customer pays you $20 a month. You do the math, 200 divided by 20, and boom, it's going to take you exactly 10 months to break even on that customer.
So, what's a good number to aim for? Well, for a typical software-as-a-service business, getting your money back in 5 to 12 months is considered pretty healthy. But if you start creeping past that one-year mark, that's a red flag. It's a signal that something might be off with your pricing or how efficiently you're marketing. And don't ever underestimate how important this is. This isn't just some internal number for a spreadsheet. We're talking a board-level metric. Investors, they look at your payback period to get a quick read on just how healthy and efficient your entire business really is. Okay, so we've diagnosed the issue, we know how to measure it. Now, for the most important part, what can you actually do about it? Let's dive into some proven strategies that can really move the needle. Here are 5 really powerful tactics. Think about it. A really smooth onboarding process stops people from quitting early. That's huge. Or what about acting on customer feedback? You're not just keeping customers happy, you're turning them into brand advocates, basically a free marketing team. Each of these things helps make every dollar you spend on getting a customer work harder. But you know what? Maybe the most powerful strategy of all is just shifting your focus. Look at this comparison. Getting a new customer is wildly expensive compared to keeping one you already have. In fact, it can be up to 7 times cheaper. That's not a small difference. That's a game changer.
And this quote from NetCore Cloud really just says it all, doesn't it? The single most effective way to lower your acquisition cost is to build a business that people don't want to leave in the first place. It starts with retention, right from day one.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Take a hard look at your strategy, at your budget. Are you just buying transactions, or are you making smart investments in building long-term, profitable relationships? The answer to that question, well,
It could change everything for your business. Thanks for tuning in.